Welcome back. Those who have the main headlines and more details. The first phase of the parliamentary elections kicked off on Saturday across Egypt, where polling stations opened doors at 9 a.m. for voters to cast their ballots. Details.
Egyptians went to polling stations on Saturday to vote in the first phase of the House of Representatives elections that will stretch over several weeks. A first round of voting will end on Sunday, with a second round on November 7 and 8. Runoffs will take place in late November and early December. Some 63 million voters out of Egypt's more than 100 million people are eligible to elect 568 of the 596 lawmakers in the lower house. The voting is being held in 14 governorates and amid tight precautionary measures over coronavirus spread, with polling places nationwide got disinfected. The governorates which vote on Saturday and Sunday in the first stage are Giza, Fayoum, Asyut, Minya, Sohag, El Wadi El Gadid, Loqsor, Qina, Aswan, Alexandria, El Bahira, Matruh, Bani Suef, and the Red Sea. Over 4,000 candidates believed to be mostly pro-government are competing for 284 of the 568 seats reserved for individuals. Meanwhile, 8 party lists are also running for the remaining 284 seats. The polls are being held under a new electoral law, under which 50% of 568 contested seats will be allocated to pre-selected lists. The remaining contested seats will be allocated to individual candidates, and the president can appoint up to 28 directly. Runoffs will be held in November, and final results are to be announced in December. Meanwhile, diplomatic missions abroad continued receiving for the third and final day the expats' ballot envelopes in coordination with the postal offices around the world to facilitate the voting process.
Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli voted at a polling station in Giza Governorate in the 2020 parliamentary elections that began on Saturday. A number of top government officials, as well as high-profile figures and governors, also cast their ballots. The Prime Minister inspected the implementation of preventive measures at polling stations amid the coronavirus pandemic. Madbouli urged citizens to participate in the elections in light of the democratic atmosphere Egypt enjoys, which ensures that people cast their vote freely and elect those who deserve to present them. Madbouli also said that Parliament will have its 2 chambers of the House and the Senate full and prepared after the House elections are concluded in order to back democracy and enrich the legislative role in Egypt. After casting their ballot, Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli inspected the construction works and the progress realized so far in developing the area surrounding the Grand Egyptian Museum. During the visit, Madbouli asserted the importance of applying preventive and precautionary measures at the work sites and adhering to sterilization procedures. During his tour, the Prime Minister hailed the efforts of the workers and their participation in establishing a mega complex for culture, antiquities, and the Egyptian civilization. Minister of Finance Mohamed White asserted that President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi's success in achieving political stability and laying its foundations contributed in carrying out economic progress and economic reform, which helped the national economy to face internal and external challenges. The minister's remarks came after he voted at the polling station in the 6th of October city in the 2020 parliamentary elections that began on Saturday. White also said that according to the International Monetary Fund, Egypt is the only country who will achieve a positive economic development in the Middle East and North Africa during the current fiscal year. Head of the National Elections Authority, NEA, Councillor Rashid Ibrahim, said the parliamentary elections, which kicked off on Saturday, are going on normally in 14 governorates in the first phase of elections. In press statements, Ibrahim said that the 2-day elections start at 9 a.m. and polling stations will close at 9 p.m. He added that the NAE is following up the electoral process and the committee allocated a hotline for receiving and answering any complaints or questions. The elections are held under full judicial supervision. The Arab League announced on Saturday that its mission to monitor the parliamentary elections had set a plan for field visits across the nation to follow up on the electoral process. The Arab League said that its delegation will include observers from different Arab countries, except Egypt, to cover the majority of polling stations nationwide. The Arab League will observe the polling process in all its stages according to the law, rules and agreements signed with the National Electoral Authority.